This is, for me, a very old plane. I've had him for a very long while. I always rather liked him, which sadly means he's been crashed quite a few times. He's had a few serious crashes. I remember I was flying him on a windy day at the Westfield once and tried to turn him in the field south of the runway, and the wind was just blowing him too far to the east, and he went right into that line of trees there, whacked right into a tree, broke various bits off, needed quite a bit of repairing. And that's not the only time he's crashed. He's had a few, he's had things replaced. He's had his nose here, you can see he's been patched up, someone's got gouges here, and I completely replaced one of these engine cowlings once. There's one thing about him, you can get spares for him pretty easily. He's like a sort of flying wing, has elevons to control him, not that big. I've got the little, I've got the little EFC-721 camera taped to the top of him, and I guess we should try and start it recording. It's not recording at the moment. I didn't put any kind of, there we go, that should be recording. I didn't put any kind, you can connect a wire so you can start and stop it via we really need the runner for this guy, but anyway, via a receiver channel, but I didn't bother, so I was just pressing the button. I mean, it's easy enough just to press the button. It's more trouble than it's worth, really, a lot of the time. Mucking around, wiring up a receiver channel, because you don't really need to be turning it on and off during flight much, do you? I mean, he has variable thrust on it. He has the twin motors and he has variable thrust, so that gives him yaw control, and then he's got the elevons for pitch and roll. So he does basically function as a 4-channel plane. Okay, let's see. Famous last words. Might not have enough power to get him up. No, it doesn't look as if we do. That's not good. We can hand launch him, I guess. I'm surprised we don't have enough power to get him off. I've taken him off grass many times. I've had him for a long while, as I say. And I've taken him off grass many times, but I've taken him off grass many times. He is just brushed motors. He may be getting a bit feebler in his old age. That may be part of the problem. It may be just that the brush motors are kind of wearing out. Wouldn't surprise me, I guess. Because he just doesn't seem to have the power, does he now? And he has got rather small wings, and it's a sort of, the grass is wet and whatever. Okay. There's a sort of thing to hold him there, but it's a bit awkward. Oh, let's see if we can hand launch him then. We'll hand launch him. But he hadn't used to need it. In fact, I think that's probably about the first time I've ever hand launched him. I never used to hand launch him, so... Whew! I don't know what... I don't know. Oh, he has like the old 3-mode thing or whatever. I don't know why he needs hand launching, really, as I say, other than maybe his... makes a funny noise because you've got the 2 motors and they don't turn. They do turn in the same direction. They're not contra-rotating, but they don't turn at the same speed because he has variable thrust. So he makes almost a drone-like sort of noise. He's rocking about a bit here. Yeah, it would not surprise me if those... Doesn't seem to have... That's full throttle. Oh, yeah. He really come back here. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have much power. Whoa. Turning him back into stabilized mode because I can't see which way he's facing very well there. This is the problem. You don't want to let these little things get too far away from you, especially something like this, I find. I mean, there's no way I can tell when he's any distance away, whether he's upside down or the right way up. If he's close enough, I can see things like the stripes and the whatchamacallem. If he's close enough, I can see the stripes and the undercarriage and all that, all very well and good, but yeah, I mean, I think he's seen better days. I think these brush motors are sort of wearing out. He seems to have very little power now. Yeah, I'm sure he had more power than this back in the day. Yeah, he does not seem to have power much anymore. Anyway. No, so I'm too low. I'm just trying to see if I can do anything much with him, but let's try not to fly into the sun, because I'll go blind myself totally if I fly into the sun.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Whoa. I mean, I give him full throttle and basically nothing seems to happen. He just doesn't seem to have any power. Now on the blithering mosquitoes, and he stalled there. Whoa. That's the advantage of safe mode. I stalled him there. And he's lacking in power. He's kind of lacking in power. I'm just trying to get a little bit of altitude with him here. Mosquitoes are getting around me now. I freshened my bug spray up before I started this flight, but even so, the bugs are really coming round me. I guess I'm sweating fairly badly. And the bugs are just really coming round me. Okay.
Intermediate mode. Experience mode. Time remaining 3 minutes.
I can barely manage to persuade him to loop now. Whatever.
Beginner mode.
Whatever. And that's getting him in the sun again. And I've had this guy for ages, as they say, and I'm pretty sure. Well, he used to have more power, put it like that. I was looking at the timer because I forgot to listen to the timer. It says 2:35, but there and again, I don't think things are working that well. I've no idea what the timer was set to when I started, quite honestly. I'm sure it used to be right once upon a time. It used to be about the flight time you could get with him, but also, this battery probably wasn't like absolutely 100% charged. I didn't charge it like yesterday. It's a battery that was in my transmitter case. I checked it. It was at about 4.15 volts a cell. It says 2 cell. It was at about 8.3, which is, you know, okay, but it's not quite fully charged. I really cannot see what he's doing. You know, I have trouble making him out. I really do. When a lot of the time, if I can see the undercarriage, that helps to orientate me. But if and he's got like no power now. He's really running out of power. I got to bring him in. He is seriously running out of power now. Not pulsing or whatever, but he just doesn't have any power. Oh. Get down there. There you go. Oh, and I'm not going to try and taxi him in. I'm not going to try and taxi him in because, you know, I mean, he might. I mean, I suppose it's not going to do any harm. No. Because he's got no rudder apart from anything else. He's only got the differential thrust of the motor, so I don't think that's going to work. I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to taxi him on the ground and turn him round and whatever. Not really. I thought I put some stickers on there. Maybe they fell off. I thought I had some stickers on the tail there with a number on or something. Not that it makes any difference, but I just thought I did. Anyway, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to Unless I happen to pick them up very cheap somewhere, I don't think I'm going to put new motors in him, I don't know. Well, I mean, I suppose you could. But I mean, because he uses the differential thrust, it would not be easy to convert him to brushless. I mean, not impossible, but it would be a complicated business, because then you'd have to set a brushless differential thrust system up, obviously. If you wanted to use the existing differential thrust system, you'd have to stick with the brush motors, and I don't know. So which side is which on this camera? Yeah, the camera is still recording, I believe, so we want to press the stop-start button here if we can. Yes, I believe the camera has now, whoops, wet grass and everything on him. I believe the camera has stopped recording, so we'll strip stuff off now and just see what that flight battery is saying. So we had 120 remaining there from a 7-minute timer. So we flew him for 5 minutes and 40 seconds. You can see he's got a lot of debris and wet grass and whatever on the bottom of him. See, this undercarriage is kind of broken here. This is the battery bay, that's the battery. That's not the battery that came with him. I think that one died some time ago, but it's the same kind of battery that came with him, an E-flite 2-cell 1300. And these are the little, I don't know if you can see them in there, those are the little brush motors, and you can see they are quite small brushed motors in HBZ7728. It's even got the part number on them there. I suppose putting new ones in wouldn't be all that difficult. New ones of those. Putting something different in would be quite tricky. And let's see what's left in this battery. It only had 4.15 when we started. 4.15 of satellite, 8.3. And it's now got 7.6, 3.8. That's okay, acceptable. It's got 3.8 to cell, the battery. So it's not that the battery was out of power, but he seemed to be really... He really didn't seem to be... He seemed to be running out of power towards the end of that. Probably, as I say, partially that those motors have seen better days. So Hobby Zone Delta Ray. Horizon Hobby Delta Ray, whatever.